Hello everybody and welcome to Board Game Galaxy. My name is Tanya and today I'm gonna make a quick rules overview for a game called Applejack. This is a 1 to 4 player game designed by Uwe Rosenberg and published by the Game Builders. So in this game we are growing and harvesting different kinds of apples in our orchard. So I have a quick setup over here. This is our orchard and we are going to take each turn, take these tiles over here and putting them in our orchard, trying to score as many when harvesting comes, trying to score as many points for different apples that you can see drawn over here, and also trying to get as many honey, because the honey is the currency in this game, and whichever player has the most at the end of it, he will win the game. So yeah, how does the game work? Each turn, depending on where the die is, you will get a choice first of selecting one of the tiles that are adjacent to that die. So for example, if the die is here, and it was my turn, I would get to choose one of these four tiles. And then I will, for example, I can choose, if I choose this tile, I have to pay 7 honey, and then I get to place it anywhere on my orchard board. It doesn't matter which tiles it is adjacent to or how it is turned, but I get a chance. I can either put it down on this side and pay 7 honey, and it will provide me with some apples and for during the game scoring, or I can choose to turn it around and place it like this. In this case it won't yield me any bonuses because there aren't any apples on it, but I also will not have to pay anything, but I will get 2 honeys instead. So then I place my tile. If I place it this way, for example over here, I check if there are any connecting honeys, and for each honey that is connecting, or rather for each hive that is connecting, I will get as many honey as is the lowest number from those two. So in this case I would get 2 honeys, and if at later turn I would put my tile over here, I would get 7 honey. And that's it. So that was my turn. The next thing that I have to be careful about is when the die crosses. So for next player, the die will go onto this space and he would select from these 4 tiles, and that will go around on this path. And once, if the die crosses an apple in between, then it would announce that it is a scoring for or harvesting for this type of apples. So if I would have these 2 tiles, for example here, and it shows 2 apples, I would get as many honey as it is the summary of these apples in one area. So the area means that the apples are adjacent tiles, minus the pips on the dice, on the current dice. So in this case 2 minus 1, I would get 1 honey. If I would have an additional area that is not adjacent to this over here, like this one, I would count them separately and also deduct the value of the dice. So in this case 1 minus 1, I wouldn't get anything. And all players do this based on their respective orchards. And then it will be next player's turn. He would select from these 4 tiles and the die would move across a different apple, and we would score that colored apple. And the die would move in such a manner, and we will make turns in such a manner around on this path. If the die would come to a space and you only have 1 tile to choose from, then the tiles would replenish. And they would replenish in such a way that in each of these 7 areas would come 1 additional tile. Once the die crosses here this bridge, this would announce the end of 1 round, and the following would happen. First, you can see here there is a little blossom, and each player would count all of their blossoms on their tiles in an orchard. They don't have to be adjacent to each other, and he would get as many honey as there are blossoms. And then the die would, here you have a +1, would increase in numbers, so it would become a 2. We would go another round in this manner, harvesting apples, and once we came to bridge again, we would score again the blossoms, but this time it would be the double amount because of the 2 pips on the die. And then the die would go up once again, showing 3 dots, and we would continue until it reaches this spot over here, and it would be at this point it would be the end of the game, because we would also have our orchards completely full. And then in the end of the game we would have a final scoring. We would score 1 more time all of the apples, harvest all of the apples, but we would have to subtract the 3 pips on the die for each area. We would sum up those points and get them times 2, and that would be counted for the scoring. Additionally, we would get points for different groups, colors of apples that they scored us. So for this example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups were scored, and if 5 groups are scored, you get additional 11 points. Additionally, we would score also again the number of blossoms on the orchard, but it would count only 1 time. And if you have any leftover honey, that would be added also to the final result. And in the end, whoever has the most honey, the most points, is the winner of the game. And that's it. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and we'll try to get back as soon as we can. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you want to see more in future, please like and consider subscribing if you haven't already. And if you're interested in seeing playthrough of this game, click on the video on the left. Thank you for watching, and I will see you at the next one. Bye!